Hey Girl Scouts, I'm Sunny from Fort Wayne, Indiana with the Girl Scouts of Northern Indiana-Michiana. And today I am going to be walking girls through the Brownie Pets badge. So just a few reminders before I get started with the badge session today. Girls won't earn the badge simply from watching this video. So these videos are meant to give some inspiration and some tips and tricks to earn this badge on your own at home. So after you finish the video, if you complete all the steps that I outlined in the video today, then you'll earn your badge. So the Brownie Pets badge has 5 steps that you need to complete in order to earn the badge. Step number 1 is find out what care different pets need. Step number 2 is keep a pet comfy. Step number 3 is help a pet stay healthy and safe. Step number 4 is make a pet feel loved. And step number 5 is feed a pet. So we're going to go ahead and get started today with step number 1, which is find out what care different pets need. Alright, so step number 1 of the Brownie Pets badge is find out what care different pets need. So to complete this step of the badge, there's a really handy bingo sheet that I will insert an image of right now. And basically, this sheet can be used, so you pick a couple different pets on it to complete a bingo, so a row or a column of different pets. Then you learn about them. So you're going to answer the 4 questions at the bottom of the sheet about each of these different kinds of pets that you choose. I only have cats, so in the video here I will tell you what kind of care pets need, but then you'll have to do some research on your end to find out about what care other pets need. So if you need to grab a grown-up so that you can get online and do some research to complete a bingo and find out about different kinds of pets. So question number 1 at the bottom of the bingo sheet is how much does it cost to take care of this pet? So an upfront thing to think about is if there's a cost associated with getting this pet. So like I said, I have cats. So when I got my cats, I adopted both of mine, one from a humane shelter and one from the Allen County ASPCA. So there were fees associated with adopting these cats. So when I got Mowgli, my male cat, who is sitting right beside me, that's Mowgli right there, looking so happy to be here. So when I got Mowgli, there was a $35 adoption fee. He's 7, so I got him like 7 years ago, and that was the fee associated with getting him. When we got Scully from the ASPCA, it was kind of a pick what you would like to donate to the shelter fee. So they didn't have a set fee for her, and I think we paid $15 or $20 when we adopted Scully. Another fee to consider if you're thinking of getting a cat is fees associated with spaying and neutering them. So that surgery is important to make sure that they don't have kittens and to keep the population down. So depending on where you live, the vet that you go to, and if you have a boy or a girl cat, there are different fees associated with that surgery. So it's a little bit more expensive to spay a female cat than to neuter a male cat, just because it's a little bit more of an extensive surgery for girl cats. We didn't have to have Scully spayed because she was older when we adopted her, so she had already had the surgery when we got her. When I got Mowgli, however, he was a kitten, so I had to wait till he was old enough to have the surgery, and I think at the time it was between $200 and $300 to have him neutered to make sure that he wouldn't be able to procreate. So anyway, that is a fee associated with having a cat that you have to consider, as well as any other regular vet visits, just to make sure that they are staying healthy and safe. Any medications that your cat may need, heartworm medication, flea drops. Our cats just got their flea drops for the month, and flea drops can be kind of expensive. We get ours through our vet because we want to make sure that the drops that we're using are safe for them. You can get some less expensive ones anywhere pretty much. Lots of grocery stores sell some cheaper options, but we go through our vet to make sure that it's something that is safe for our pets, to make sure it doesn't hurt them, it doesn't make them sick. And the drops, we get a 6-month supply for a cat, and that is about $120, so that can be kind of expensive. Other fees associated with having a cat are cat litter and cat food. So we go through a container of cat litter about every 2 weeks, and that's about $10. And then the cat food that we purchase is a 25-pound bag. I'll be showing you that later on in the video, the big bag that we buy. And that is about $25 to $30, depending on where we buy it from. And we go through a bag a month, so it's $25 to $30 every month. Other costs for having a cat are any treats that we want to buy for them, toys, cat beds and towers and scratching posts. So these are all expenses to have to do with having a cat. So question 2 on the bingo sheet is, how much space does this pet need? So cats don't need a ton of space. They're not a larger kind of pet that you can own, but they still do need their space. So we have, like I said a minute ago, we've got a couple cat beds and towers around the house that they can kind of lounge around in. They also like to lay on the couch like you just saw Mowgli doing, or on the bed. We have a designated place for their food dishes and another one for their litter box that I'll be showing you in just a minute. So these are some designated spaces around the house that cats need. The more space you have, the better, because when cats are feeling rowdy and want to run around and chase each other, if you have more than one, the more space you have, the better, so that they're not running underfoot when they're deciding to chase each other around the house. But again, as far as space-wise, they don't need like as much space as a dog, but the more space, the better. So question number 3 is, how much food does this pet need? So like I said, we get a large bag of cat food probably once a month. Our cats eat twice a day. So they eat once in the morning before we go to work and once in the evening when we're cooking dinner. So both cats get fed twice a day. Depending on the size of your cat and the age of your cat, the amount of food varies. When we do the last step of the badge, which is feed a pet, I'll kind of show you about how much I feed our cats. But there's recommendations, like I said, for the age of your cat and the size of your cat on how much food that they should be receiving every day. Question number 4 is, what kind of human contact does this pet like? So cats are pretty independent pets. They sleep a lot. So a lot of times I don't know that they even realize I'm gone when I'm gone for work during the day, because they spend so much of the day sleeping. So, but when I get home from work, they do like attention. So they come out of wherever they were sleeping or hiding during the day, and they want to be near me. They sit on the couch with us during the evening. They sleep on the bed at night. So they do like human contact and affection. So cats do like human contact. So those are the 4 questions that are on the bingo sheet. So beneath all the pictures of the animals, those are the questions that you'll need to do some research to answer about the different pets that you pick on the bingo sheet. So like I said, grab a grown-up to help you get online to research the different pets on the bingo sheet. Feel free to answer or find out as much as you want about any of these pets, so you don't have to be limited by these questions. Find out as much as you want about each of these different kinds of pets. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to step 2 of the Brownie Pets badge, which is keep a pet comfy. Alright girls, so we have changed locations to do step number 2 of the Brownie Pets badge, which is keep a pet comfy. So pets need a clean and comfortable place to live. So if their tank or litter box or cage is dirty, then they're not comfortable, and it can be a really unhealthy environment for your pet. So one of the ways to complete this step of the Brownie Pets badge is to become the designated cage, tank, or litter box cleaner for 2 weeks. So you can kind of learn about the process of keeping your pet's space clean and comfortable for them. I'm the designated litter box cleaner in my house, so I'm going to do the glamorous job of cleaning a litter box, and I just gotta kind of tell you a little bit about that process. So right now we are in what we have nicknamed our cat room, which is not a necessity if you have a cat, but we basically had a spare bedroom in our house and we don't really have anything else in it. So this is where our cat stuff lives. So this is where their litter box lives. It's where we keep their brushes and stuff, where we keep their extra litter. And they have a little toy basket that also lives in this room. So basically, to keep their litter box clean, I clean their litter box once a day, if not more than that. So I clean it once a day. Usually it's recommended that you have a litter box, one litter box for every cat that you have. So when we got Scully, our second cat, we got a second litter box. And they never really used it. They would get in there and they'd kick the litter out of the box and they'd play in there and but they didn't ever use it to use the bathroom. So we actually have moved back down to just the one litter box. Litter boxes vary by shape and size. Some are just kind of an open box, an open rectangle or square box for them to use the litter box. Ours has a lid. One thing that we observed with our cats is, again, when we got our second cat, Scully, she was very curious. So she would follow Mowgli in here when he wanted to use the bathroom and would watch him use the bathroom. And cats like their privacy, so we got a litter box with a lid so that they could have their privacy when they use the bathroom. Just like anybody. Anybody wants a private place to use the restroom. We also, another thing to think about when you're getting a litter box for your cat is the size of your cat. So again, I have pretty large cats. I'll hold Mowgli up in a little bit just so you can kind of see how big he is. He's a pretty large cat. He's real long. He's got a bushy tail. So we needed to make sure that we had plenty of space for our cats so that they didn't feel cramped, especially since this is a litter box with a lid. But anyway, I digress. Like I said, I clean their litter box once a day or more if it gets stinky and they need it. So to clean the litter box, I get a bag, a grocery bag, and you need a litter box, you need a scoop to scoop this mess out, and then you need some fresh litter, which I've got ours right over here, so that you can add in some fresh, clean litter to the litter box for once you get the mess out. All right, girls, so like I said, I'm going to clean the litter box. I paused for a second because both my cats decided that they wanted to come in and see what I was doing in their litter room. So we've got Mr. Mowgli sitting here watching me, wondering what I'm doing with his litter box. And Scully as well. You're gonna see my lovely little tripod setup. This is Miss Scully, my female cat, who has also gotten into her toy box to pull some string out. So if you hear some meowing and loud noises while I'm cleaning their litter box, that's what that's about. So anyway, we're gonna clean their litter box just so you can see this process. So take my lid off, get that out of the way. I'm sitting on a little step stool that I have just so I have a little bit more of a comfortable place to squat while I'm cleaning their litter box. So you scoop up their mess, you shake it off to get the excess litter off, and you put it in a bag. So I'll try and do this part quickly so you don't have to sit here and just watch me clean the litter box. We also, you might notice, and when I get done with this, I'll kind of show you, we have a mat that we keep under our litter box. It's just a big black floor mat. When cats get out of the litter box, they tend to have a lot of litter on their paws. So it can get all over your carpet or throughout your house. So we have a mat on underneath our litter box so that when they get out, it catches some of that extra litter that's on their paws, so that we don't end up with cat litter everywhere. You still end up with quite a bit of cat litter through your house, so we sweep quite a bit just to keep that mess down. All right, so I got all the mess cleaned out of their litter box, and then I am going to tie up my trash bag here. I'm going to go through this in the main trash bag. And then I also add in some clean litter just to account for any that was removed when I got rid of the mess. So I'm going to add in some more cat litter to their box here. And Mowgli is still sitting in the room with me, so I imagine when I'm done filming, he's probably going to use his litter box. All right. So like I said, to earn or to complete this step of the badge, you can become the designated tank. So if you have like a reptile or a fish, you could be the designated tank cleaner, the cage cleaner. So if you've got a dog that has a cage, or a gerbil or a hamster or a mouse, you can be the cage cleaner, or you can be the litter box cleaner for 2 weeks, just so you can learn about this process of making sure that you're keeping your pet's space comfy and clean. All right, another way that you can complete this badge, so like let's say that you don't have a pet. If you don't have a pet, that's fine. Maybe you have a friend or a relative or a neighbor whose pet you can help take care of by keeping their tank or cage or litter box clean. Another way that you can complete this step of the badge is you can make a pet bed or a pet pillow. So I will also be including, when I upload the bingo sheet and the materials list after this badge goes, or this video goes live, I can also upload some instructions to make a pet pillow. And that's a really easy process. If you just take 2 pieces of fabric and you knot it up together and stuff it with some stuffing, you can make a really nice pet pillow. So that's another way that you can keep a pet comfy. So that completes step 2 of the Brownie Pets badge, which is keep a pet comfy. I'm gonna go wash my hands. We're gonna change locations again, and I'll be right back, and we'll do step number 3 of the Brownie Pets badge. All right, girls, so now we're gonna do step 3 of the Brownie Pets badge, which is help a pet stay healthy and safe. So it's very important to know how to keep your pet healthy and safe so that they are feeling good and so that they look good too. So one of the ways that you can fulfill this step of the badge is to help a pet look good. So cats tend to, they groom themselves. So cats clean themselves all the time. Scully, especially, my female cat, is constantly cleaning herself. But in order to keep a pet looking good, you've got to also do a few other things. So cats, especially long-haired cats like Mowgli, my male cat, my black cat that you've seen a few times now, he's got real long hair, and it can get knotted up and knotted really easily. So I've got a brush that I use to brush him, and I try to brush him every couple weeks when he'll let me. He doesn't like being brushed, but just to make his fur looking nice and silky. It's also can get uncomfortable for cats if they've got clumps of hair that are all knotted up. Kind of imagine if your hair gets ratty and knotted up, and it's not very comfortable, right? It hurts when you brush it, and It also prohibits them being able to move as well as they can, and stops them from being able to clean themselves properly. So making sure that your cat's hair and fur is brushed, and anytime that Mowgli's fur gets really knotted up, if I can't brush through it, I also have some scissors so that I can cut any clumps of hair off that need to be, just so that he can move freely and he isn't uncomfortable. It doesn't pull and hurt him. If your cat's fur gets to that point, or your dog, make sure, I have a grown-up do that just to make sure that it's something that doesn't hurt your cat or dog. For this part of the badge, you can go back to your bingo sheet to find out how you keep other pets staying healthy and safe and looking good. Another thing that we do for our cats is they have all their claws, but cat claws do need to be trimmed just so that they don't grow too long to where it's uncomfortable for the cats. So we have cat clippers, or nail clippers, for our cats. They're special clippers. They're not the same that we would use as humans, but they have a special little clip here, and this helps you, cuts them in a proper way because of how their claws grow. It also helps prevent you from cutting too far in, so that you don't cut their claws too short. Another way to keep their claws healthy is having scratching posts. So our cats have a cat tower, which I'll show you when we get to the next step of the badge. They have a tower that has 2 scratching posts on it so that they can scratch that up, and that helps file their nails and keep them strong and healthy. So, and another thing that I've got just sitting here is I've also got some waterless shampoo for cats. So when we put our flea drops on our cats, it's kind of oily. So a couple days after we've used it, especially Mowgli, again, Scully, she's got short hair, so her fur always looks nice, but Mowgli's will get kind of greasy looking after we've used their drops. So a couple days later, maybe when I go to brush him, I spray a couple spritzes of this waterless shampoo. It makes them smell nice, and it makes his fur look a little less greasy and gross. So that is step 3 of the Brownie Pets badge, which is keep a pet healthy, or help a pet stay healthy and safe. So now we are going to move on to step 4 of the Brownie Pets badge, which is make a pet feel loved. Alright girls, so we are back in my cat room because I came to get some toys. So step 4 of the Brownie Pets badge is make a pet feel loved. And one way that you can do that is by creating a game to play with your pet. So I just got Mowgli to come in the room. So here comes Mr. Mowgli. One game that my cats love to play is fetch. So that's one game that you can try to play with your pet. I don't really know how our cats learned how to play fetch, but basically when I got Mowgli, he picked it up pretty quickly. It was just like we were playing with him with a toy, and it was somewhere else in the house. He brought it over to us, and we threw it, and he went and got it and brought it back. So it was just a really authentic way. Somehow he taught himself how to play fetch, and so now we play fetch with him all the time. We have a lot of toys for our cats, but for some reason they tend to like just to play with things that they just find around the house. So for some reason our cats Mowgli really likes soda bottles, so like the lids that come on a bottle of pop. And I can throw this and he'll go after it. So I'm gonna throw this and let's see if he actually does it. All right, ready? Ready? So he just ran to go get it. Come here, bring it here. And right now he's picking it up in his mouth. And you can see that Mowgli will bring it back to me. And he never drops it right in front of me. I always have to work for it. But I'll throw it again. Oh, I didn't throw it very well that time. So we're gonna see if he comes back. Oh, he didn't. Do you want this one instead? Go get it! Well, now he's making me out to be a liar. But anyway, so to complete step 4 of the badge is you come up with a game to play with your pet. So other things that you can do with your pet, if you have a cat like I do, cats love string. So when I was doing the last step of the badge, Scully had found one of her strings in her toy bin, and she brought it over to me when I was sitting on the couch and was meowing, and you might have heard her meow a few times. So Scully loves string. Like I said, Mowgli loves bottle caps. We also have like a little feather toy that they like to play with. But basically, come up with a game to play with your cat. So that's just the one that my cats like, but make up whatever kind of game works well for you and for your cat. And that's one way you can make your pet feel loved. Hi girls, real quick intermission before I do step 5. I was on my way to go do that, and my kitties are both sleeping. So I just wanted to show you how cute they look when they are calm and napping. Like I said, they sleep a lot. So this is Miss Scully, and she's taking a nap on the couch, and she hears me doing my baby talk. So she's making herself look even more cute. And then Mr. Mowgli is over here. And Mowgli's on the little cat tower over there. All right, now we'll go on to step number 5. All right, girls, so now we have moved on to the 5th and final step of the Brownie Pets badge, which is feed a pet. So one of the most important responsibilities of being a pet owner is knowing how much food your pet needs and how often you should feed your pet. So in order to earn or to complete this step of the Brownie Pets badge, you need to come up with a feeding schedule for your pet that then you maintain for 2 weeks, just like the keeping your pet comfy step that you do for 2 weeks. You should do this feeding schedule for your pet for 2 weeks. So, like I said earlier, our cats eat twice a day, and so I am going to actually show you where their food lives. So this is, let me turn my camera here. This is their little eating area. So it's out in our kitchen. Like I said earlier, we feed them twice a day. So our cats eat in the morning when we're getting ready for work. We feed them, and then they get fed again in the evening when we're cooking dinner. So when we first had just Mowgli, he ate once a day, and some pet owners do that. So with cats, it's pretty easy. You could feed them once in the morning, and then they're set. If you fill their bowl up with all they need for a day, they can just nibble as they're hungry through the day. That worked really well when we just had one cat. But then, just like with the litter box, when we got our second cat, when we got Scully, we learned pretty quickly that she was a hungry girl and she ate a lot. So we would try and feed them in the morning before we went to work. And then through the day when we were gone, we didn't know if they were both getting the same amount of food. We mostly saw Scully at the food dish. We didn't see Mowgli at the food dish as much. So then we worried that Mowgli wasn't getting enough food and that she was overeating and eating more than she was supposed to. So that was why we changed our feeding schedule. And now we made it to twice a day, and it was both times when we were here. So we'd feed them in the morning when we were getting ready for work, so that we can kind of monitor them as we're getting around, as we're making breakfast and getting coffee in the morning. We can keep track of that they both have gotten turns eating. And then the same thing within the evening when they eat. It's when we're out in the kitchen cooking dinner, so we can kind of monitor and keep track of who's eating how much and how much they're eating. In addition to making sure that you're feeding your pet the right amounts of food that they need, you also need to make sure that they are getting fresh, clean water. So we have a water dish here that sits in between our food bowls, but then we also have a water fountain. So cats are notoriously bad about drinking water as much as they should, and that can lead to health problems later in their life, like kidney issues if they're not getting the water that they need. So I read that cat fountains were a great way to encourage your cat to drink water because it's kind of fun. So we got a little cat fountain and our cats love it. and we have to fill it up constantly because they're drinking up all the water from the fountain. So the water fountain lives out by our cat tower, and so that's another place that they can get water from. We also have to make sure that that stays filled and that gets cleaned out regularly because it can kind of get gross with cat hair and all kinds of other stuff in it. So we have to clean that out and make sure that that's got clean, fresh water in it too. I mentioned that we get a large bag of cat food. So this is the cat food that we buy for our cats. Lots of different options out there. I was wrong earlier. I said that this was a 25-pound bag. This is only a 10-pound bag. But my cats this can last them about a month. And like I said, this is about $25 for this bag. But it lasts them about a month. And that lives out here in the kitchen. So like I said, come up with a feeding schedule for your pet in order to fulfill step 5 of the Brownie Pets badge, which is feed a pet. And that, my girls, is the final step of the Brownie Pets badge. Thank you again so much for watching. Just a few reminders once again. After this video is over, we'll be uploading that bingo sheet, and I will also put up those directions for the pet pillow in case you girls would rather make a pet pillow or a pet bed. I can put up some materials and instructions for that. And if you would rather do that than be the tank, litter box, or cage cleaner. Once again, once our retail store is open again, you can come in and purchase your badge, or in the meantime, you can buy it online. Thank you again so much for watching. Please stay safe and healthy, and I hope to see you girls soon. And please stay tuned for future GSNIM virtual badge sessions. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.